G'day viewers. One of my subscribers, my viewers, has sent me a parcel. He doesn't want to be named, but he knows who he is, so thank you so much. He's actually sent me two things. Basically everything here is the gold content from inside about 200 hard drives. This bag totally contains the fingers of the reader writer that reads the discs. So you got the main section up top, then you got all the little finger parts that come down, and then the very pointy sections, and then there's supposed to be apparently all this gold that travels down. I can see it looks like gold on there, but that just could be anything. So I've never actually processed these before, and I'd like to see how much gold is on them. So we're going to process these. Also, he sent me this container of pins which come out from inside the hard drives as well. However, some of it needs to be separated because there's a nice container of gold here, but there's these little sections with the gold round circles. They've got to be put in with the read writer arms and be pyrolized. The pins don't. So what I'll do is, when I get to the point where these have all been pyrolized and they're ready to go into nitric acid, then I'll include the pins so we can get the total weight of gold content from roughly 200 hard drives. We'll weigh this in a second and we'll see what we starting weight is. Okay, so I'll put this container on here and tear it off. Yep. So as you know from my last few videos, I don't have any desktop or kitchen scales because they're broke. I've only got these precision scales that do up to 200 grams at a time. So if I exceed that, I'll have to do it a few times. So we'll start with the weight of the pins. Put those in there. And I'll gradually add these. Hopefully it won't go over 200 grams. A few of my viewers have told me that they'd like to see start weights and end yields, so that's fine. I'm happy to do that. I never used to do it, and I should have. So it's 168. I'll be able to get all this on by the looks of it. Sorry if I put my arm in the way. There's more pins in here too. Little tiny little dots of gold in there. Oh, that's close. 187.89. So say 190, close enough to 200 grams. But there you go. That's what we're going to start with. And now I'll pull all those back out, separate them again, and I'll come back when I'm ready to pyrolyze them. Okay, so I got the tin in the fire and all the read writer arms are in the tin. I'm only leaving the lid on there for a brief second so I don't get ash in there, but once this fire starts to rage and there's no smoke and nothing flying around, I'll take the lid off. Well, the fire's raging now. When I can get in there, I'll take that lid off so it all pyrolyzes, get oxygen in there. And I'll leave it in there for quite a while because there's a lot of laminate in there, plastic, ribbon. Just give it a good burn, make sure it's all well done. There's no rush. I've got a couple of hours to do this, so I'll just let it really roast in there. I left this in for well over 2 hours. Even when the coals were drying down, I left it in there. And even though you might think, oh, it's only laminate, why so long? But there's actually IC chips in there as well. And those little pads there, some of them have got IC chips on. So I wanted to make sure that they were in there for a long enough period of time to roast the IC chips. I'll put them in my dolly pot and I'll crush them up now, and make sure all the ICs are broken up as well. I've got my truck axle here, so I'll just give them a good pounding. I'll do that and then come back. I cleaned the beaker and put all this sediment in there. There's going to be a lot of aluminium, as you can see, so I'm going to go through a ton of material, nitric acid mostly. Now I am going to start by putting distilled water and nitric, just to eat up all that base metal, as well as any silver, because I know IC chips usually have silver. So I'm going to keep boiling it with dilute nitric until there's no more reaction. Get rid of all those base metals and silver. Now this has been on heat now for at least 3 hours. As you can see, no more reaction, so I'm about to put some more nitric in. I'll keep doing that until there's no reaction. In a situation like this, where you're going to have aluminium in solution, like the sediment has aluminium in it, you need to be real careful and add the nitric acid really slow, because if you check out the reactivity series of metals chart, you'll see that the aluminium reacts violently in acid. So adding tiny bits, which is why there's only a small amount of fumes, I'm just adding a little bit by little bit by little bit, very slowly. Okay, so I've got these pins here, which I'm going to add in there now. I was going to process these separately for the simple purpose of trying to find out, is there really gold on those fingers. But then I recently realised that there was IC chips in there, so I wouldn't get a true reading anyway. If there's gold in there, it could be from the IC chips. So sorry if you're curious like I am, but I mucked up. So I'm going to put these in and we'll just find out the total yield of gold from hard drives. And maybe at some other stage I'll do a video on the fingers alone. Well, they're reacting. There was no reaction before, even after sitting nitric in there, but now there's something to react with. So I'll put the lid back on and wait and see. Well, after putting those pins in, the reaction's quite strong, as you can see. That's good to know. Shouldn't take long to get through all those pins. They should be back to no reaction fairly soon, I'd say. This has only got a tiny bit of fumes left in there, and it doesn't matter if there's excess nitric, because I could use that for my silver. I think pretty much all the silver, that if there's anything in there, or base metals, would have been gone by now. I'm going to drain it, filter it, and have a look at the sediment, see if I can still find aluminium, etc. If I see anything like that, then I'll put some more nitric, otherwise I'll put it in AR. Well, I filtered out all the solution, and I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but I can see quite a bit of gold in there. But also, look at the filter. I would say that's from the pins. That's quite a nice amount of gold there. So I'm going to squirt all that back into here. I really can't see it through the camera, but in person you can see gold everywhere. So I'll squirt it all back into there and then put aqua regia in there. Collect the gold. The solution has been filtered. Still not sure why it's so dark, but I know it's filtered, so now I can drop the gold, see what's there, and after I refine it, obviously get it nice pure, nice yellow solution, get a good purity. Now I'm going to pour some copperas in, try and drop the gold. Roughly the same quantity of copperas as to what the solution was. It's a waiting game now. Well, I put the copperas in last night, and I just want to check, make sure there's still no gold in solution. Put some drops of stannous in. It's a good sign, no gold in solution. Okay, I'm going to decant this now, I'll siphon it off and see if there's any gold in the bottom. There's gold in the bottom. There's also some sulfamic acid in there, which is good. The excess of sulfamic meant that it was definitely denoxed. So that'll all happen, come out when I wash it. I put some hot water in there and wash it, and then some hydrochloric acid will get rid of that. And we'll weigh it up. It's the next day, and it's had one water wash. Now I've just poured off the solution, and I'm about to put some more hot water in there. And I'll just carry on with the wash process. Okay, so I've got the gold from the hard drive. I've teared off one of these little containers, and I've got the gold in here. There's not much, 0.13 of a gram, and I'm very skeptical that there was even gold on the fingers. If there is, I don't think it's recoverable. I think most of that gold came from the pins. I will continue to save the pins and not worry about the fingers. I've never saved them, but this customer or this viewer wanted to see, and I guess we all wanted to know, but now we know. I'm just going to put the pins aside from now on and keep scrapping the rest like I normally do. But anyway, thanks for sending it to me. To that viewer, he knows who he is, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, help me grow the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.